Hello and welcome. I'm Erica with Redeeming Thunder. For those that have been waiting for the Lord to manifest His glory upon their families, I call this one Divine Light. Prodigals receive a divine appointment. And this comes directly from a personal life situation of waiting for my prodigals to return home. But the Lord created a divine appointment. And He is telling you today that if He hasn't already, something magnificent is going to happen. And it's going to go, it comes in layers. Okay, so you got to pay close attention. You have to be awakened in this hour, because these are like Kairos moments. These are appointed times right now. How you've been receiving prophetic word that the Lord is going to restore your family. He is. And I'm going to show you why in this own personal journey that He really wants me to tell you. I'm staying up a little bit later today to provide you with this prophetic word of a divine appointment, and you're going to understand why. And after, we're going to pray. Okay? So, starting the day, I still have no idea. Okay? But it is 8/5/2023. In prostration and praising the Lord, saying, "Here I am." Remember, when I say in prostration, it's because I'm just standing still and saying, "Here I am," no matter what. The Lord says, Sāmak. That's strong number 5564. Pay attention here, okay? Because there's certain steps that you may have to do. So, and the Lord says, research that. And that occurred around 1 p.m. on 8/5. It was a Saturday. It means to prop, literally or figuratively, reflectivity, to lean upon or take hold of. Remember, okay? In a favorable or unfavorable sense, to bear up, establish, uphold, lay, lean, lie hard, put, rest, self, set, self, stand, fast, stay, self, sustain. To sustain, refresh, revive. To cause, to lean upon. He was already warning me right here. I feel like just blurting it out. That is how amazing it is. Okay? But we're going step by step. Deuteronomy 34:9. And Joshua the son of Nun was full of the Spirit and wisdom, for Moses had laid his hands upon him, and the children of Israel hearkened unto him and did as the Lord commanded Moses. Okay. So, I have put notes in the past to start here, so I'm going to start already with reciting the... Okay, so we're reciting. This is part of one of the rituals of the Jewish mystical teachings, scholarly teachings, okay? So it's just saying a special prayer while you light some candles. And it's incredibly important to progress into the next stage of... It's all about hands-on. There's something special when anointing. So when they're talking about to lay, lean, to lay, rest, self, stand, fast, stay, sustain, to refresh, to revive, it's basically talking about to lay hands on someone. In that moment, you are doing something special. If you have the opportunity to do that and you are anointed by the Lord, you pray like that, okay? So reciting the Hanukkah candles. A Shamash attendant, actively participant guide of the darkness towards the divine light. Miracles for such a time as this. Blessed, this is the prayer. Blessed, this is the second blessing, okay, to recite. Blessed are you, YHWH, our God, who performed miracles for our ancestors in days past at this time. With that prayer, we are literally professing and declaring, it's like a decree, that we're needing miracles in this hour. And we are believing that He will do these miracles to bring our prodigals back home, our family back home, safe and sound, just like He did those miracles for these ancestors. Part of the divine light. Shamesh, attendant, candle in hand. Okay? The search for divine light is not in vain. Okay, so we are going to now, something happened and it was a hidden light. And hidden light means tis, zim, tizam. A concealed divine personal responsibility, accountability, humility, action that has occurred in the prodigals at this hour. Okay? Sometimes there's manifestations where you can see it. But what the Lord said, that He did something magnificent and marvelous and supernatural, but it was concealed. And it was His divine light in that hour. You're like, what are you talking about? What is this? It sounds so almost bizarre, right? You're going to understand in a minute. Okay, so it's a ritual to guide us through the darkness to the light, living our lives in meaning and purpose. It's rededication. This is the second blessing. That's what that entire little quote there means. It means a lot, even though it's saying a little bit. Must channel the light through the actions. Ritual of candle light is divine human partnership. We are the temple, okay? We are. So it's like, what? What is this? Don't we need to have like certain gadgets? Or no, it's we are the body. We are Soma. We are the soul body. We can do a lot with just being in the now with our own person. We don't need crystals and what is it called? Sage and all this gadgets. We are the temple. This is all it is. He lives in us. So something happened that was marvelous. Okay, so listen on. So this continues with what Sāmak is entailing. So I haven't gotten to the most crucial, wonderful part yet, but this is still wonderful, and this is getting to it. This just happened earlier in the day. Okay? Ezekiel 24:2. Write thee the name of the day. It has a little paraphrase there, but I just want to bring up the whole thing so we know we don't miss anything. Son of man, record this date, this very date, because the king of Babylon has laid siege to Jerusalem this very day. Okay. Amos 5. So we're going on a treasure hunt right now. Okay? God didn't just spill the beans in the morning or in the afternoon that day. I had to live this day. It's very exciting. It's something that I've been waiting for over 2 years, and it happened today, that day. Okay? So this is what I want to share with you, because it's going to happen to you. All right, so Amos 5:19. It will be as though a man fled from a lion only to meet a bear, as though he entered his house and rested his hand on the wall only to have a snake bite him. Isaiah 63:5. I looked, but there was no one to help. I was appalled that no one gave support, so my own arm achieved salvation for me, and my own wrath sustained me. And guess what? And then it's talking about on head of sacrificed victim. 59:16. Isaiah 59:16. He saw that there was no one. Oh, did I already do that one? Isaiah 63. I looked. Okay, I already said those two. Okay, so sorry about that. Too excited here. Okay, Exodus 29:10. Bring the bull to the front of the tent of the meeting, and Aaron and his sons shall lay their hands on his head. 2 Chronicles. There's something special, guys, about laying hands. 29:23. The goats for the sin offering were brought before the king in the assembly, and they laid their hands on them. So God is giving me hints of what I need to do, okay? He's giving you hints on what you need to do. And the thing is, when you lived at the moment, you may not remember. And you'll be like, oh no, I think I didn't do it. That's how I felt. But then you'll see what I mean. Numbers 8:18. And I have taken the Levites in place of all the firstborn sons in Israel. The Levites, that's also key here. Bring the Levites before the Lord. Do you hear that? Do you hear that right there? That's the paraphrasing right there. Bring the Levites before the Lord. Put hands upon the Levites. The Levites are the ones that praise the Lord with song and with instruments. They're the ones that are gifted in music, okay? Genesis 27:37. Isaac answered Esau, I have made him lord over you, and have made all his relatives his servants, and I have sustained him with grain and new wine. So what can I possibly do for you, my son? Sustain with corn. That's what I wrote in there. Okay. Psalms 3:6. I will not fear though 10,000s assail me on every side. You're going to need to remember that one, okay? Because I didn't tell you what happened. And I'm getting there. See, this is like a treasure hunt, and God's giving clues with these verses. Okay, that one. Psalms 37:17. For the power of the wicked will be broken, but the Lord upholds the righteous. Did you hear that? That needs to be remembered. Psalms 119:16. If you can get your Bibles out and look for these with me and read it together, it'd be great. I'll write the ones down that I have said today. I'll put them in the I'll put them in the description. Sustain me, my God, according to your promise, and I will live, and do not let my hope be dashed. It's okay to pray to the Lord like this. You said you were going to keep your promise. Be insistent. Do not let my hopes be dashed. And guess what? He didn't let my hopes be dashed. He let me see it in front of my eyes. Okay. Psalms 145:14. The Lord upholds all who fall and lift up all who are bowed down. Yes. Okay. Last one here. Isaiah 26:3. You will keep in perfect peace those whose minds are steadfast because they trust in you. Let me say that again. Isaiah 26:3. You will keep in perfect peace those whose minds are steadfast because they trust in you. I lived this exact verse on that exact day, a couple hours later, a few hours later. This exact verse was that I lived, that I did. So let's dig into it, okay? This is the exciting thing that I want to tell you, because if it hasn't happened already, it's going to happen to you. Here goes. Divine appointment. And you're going to see why. I went to the store to shop for some stuff. And we usually typically go to this store called Ross. And prior to that, I did drink this natural energy drink. It had a lot of caffeine in it. So then suddenly I had to go to the bathroom, right? And so I'm like, come on, kids, let's go to the bathroom. I went with my 3 little boys. And what happened was they closed the bathrooms. I know it seems like, where am I going with this story? Just bear with me, okay? This is essential. You won't think, but it is. They have locked the bathrooms. No one can use the bathrooms in that store anymore because I guess they have some security issues. So then they said, go to Barnes and Nobles, which is down a couple stores down. And I'm like, oh my goodness, that's like a long walk. I don't think I'm just feeling like I just had this, I needed to go to the bathroom like urgently. So then I thought, I'm just going to give it a try. I'm going to go to the store that's right next door to it. And so the store that I went to is not a store that I have shopped at for a very long time. I'm talking about I haven't gone in that store in like, I don't know, 7 years, 8 years, 9 years. I have not stepped foot in that store in that long. But that specific day, we decided let's just go to the store that's next door and not to the other stores 3 stores down. So I go in, and yes, they do have a bathroom that we can use. Again, why am I focusing on just the bathroom? Well, I do really need to go to the bathroom, but I drink a lot. But that's not it. Listen. So there we are, heading on to the back of the store. They told us at the back of the store, within the dressing room area. There we are walking. We walk straight. And I see a man that I haven't seen in a very long time. And he is my ex-husband. And I know that my children are there. Now, this is pivotal because I have not seen my children, my older children, in over 2 years. That's how long it's been. Not really how I wanted it to go. There was some issues with my husband not abiding by the court order, and also not allowing me to pick them up. Also, pretty much, I don't want to get too involved in all that, but he has put the children against us, and there has been some issues with trust, and the enemy through him worked very hard to divide our family. So this whole thing about prodigals returning home is very dear to my heart. Okay? Because this is really literally happening to me, to us. There is many people that tried to destroy our family, and included witchcraft and literally the whole kill, steal, and destroy thing that the devil likes to do. So we have been working vigorously for the past few years to break generational curses and strongholds and witchcraft attempts and stuff like that. And with that journey, it had opened the door to realizing that the Lord has given the gift of prophetic word. Okay? So I believe he has before that, but I didn't realize that I was actually giving, speaking in tongues in a language that I could actually research and understand until 2 years ago. Was it 2 years ago? Maybe a year and a half ago. So anyway, this was immensely divine appointment, okay? And so we continue to walk straight. I have the stroller and my 2 boys beside me, and we're kind of in this at the very end of the store, and we go into the dressing room because to the left is the bathroom. There's a bathroom, but we just stop because I haven't seen my son in a very long time, and he's right in front of me, sitting on the bench. Why the Lord wants me to get super personal and say this story? Because you guys have been, he wants me to do my supernatural diary. And he wants you to know this because there's certain keys and clues, and it's prophetic word that your family's going to be restored. Okay? So this is the thing. I just call out his name and I'm like, hi. And then my boys are waving hi, right? His brothers. And my ex hears me say hi and he suddenly calls him. So my son, when he looked at us, he was like a deer in the headlights, like he couldn't believe it. And his eyes immediately got watery. And like it looked like he wanted to run to us, but at the same time, he wanted to keep his boundaries. And his dad's very controlling, so he wasn't really allowed to show emotion, even when he was young, like 3 years old, to show emotion, to be excited, to spend time with me. So it has been rough because the whole journey of withholding the children and stealing the children didn't just happen a couple years ago. It originally happened 7 years ago. So this has been a really long struggle to fight for my children in court and to rescue them. And there's been a lot of barriers and a lot of money spent. Some defamation of character that and slander, and that caused it so it's immensely difficult to rescue, because at the time they didn't think they needed rescue. So it's a long story, but anyways, I'm like, okay. I just said hi for a second and then he took off. I'm like, I'm not giving up here. I want to at least have a mini conversation, or have my little boys at least give them a hug. This is not going to be where, I don't know about you, but I love all my children just equally. And I've been wanting and desiring to be truly their mommy since I had them. But sometimes the court is not in your favor, and there has been this whole thing where the Lord has been working, where it seems like he flipped the whole life upside down, and it was on purpose because he needed to work in people's hearts and lives, okay? So, anyways, I was like, what in the world? I'm not giving up. So I said to my kids, let's go and see if we can say hi to him. So we walk towards the middle of the store where they're standing, and we give some distance in the hallway. And I said, we just want to say hi. They just want to say hi. They haven't seen you in years. At that time, my my older son, has never met our baby that's 8.5 months old. And when they were withheld, the other younger one was around one, 1.5, 1.5. So almost two, actually, almost two. So this is the thing. He agreed to allow them to go to him, and so they hugged for a little bit. And after that, his dad said, come on, let's go. So then who knows why, but it's like, I'm not a monster here. And anyways, they walked to the front of the store, and then it was like, where are you going? Your daughter's still over there. But he kept walking, but when his dad wasn't looking, he looked back, and then he's staring at us, and he's looking at his little brothers, and you could tell that he's longing to run towards them and hug them. But instead, he just quietly waves really low his hand to say hi again. So After that, we decided to walk back to the back to see if we can finally go to the bathroom or just try to talk to my daughter, right? And there we are, standing at a crossroads, it feels like. And I decide to text them, because I do text them and try to call them, but they don't answer. But anyways, that day, I text my daughter. It's in a group text with my son, my daughter, and I. And I say, "Hi, we're just happen to be in the same store. Just wondering if we can maybe say hi to you really quick, because your little brothers and your little baby brother is here, and they just want to say hi to you. You know, of course I really do, but we'll be in the bathroom, but we'll come out, and it'll be really great if you can meet us out there in the store." And so then we just go to the bathroom. Took my chances there. And she responds, okay? So this is key. This is key because that means, remember I told you in the past, prodigals, what phase they are in the metamorphosis of the chrysalis, and in the past they were in half of their wings out of the cocoon. I'm going to tell you at the end of this whole thing. Actually, there's part 2, so it's going to be a different video because it's going to be really long. So I didn't want it to be extremely long. So part 2 is going to share what stage they are in, okay? So, which is awesome. It really matches. The Lord told me what stage they are. Okay, so this is the thing. Changing the page. I'm in the bathroom, helping the boys go to the bathroom and stuff like that. And then as we're getting out of there, I see a text, another text. And she says, this is what she says: "Sure, I can meet you outside." So that's key right there. She said yes. She has not ever said yes. Never in these past couple years. So that's what I'm saying. Something happened in their hearts. Something happened supernaturally. And anyway, then she says, "Can you guys hurry because we have to leave pretty soon?" So I really can tell that her dad's pressuring them that they got to go when we haven't even gotten a chance. Okay? So this is what I'm saying. Remember the verse when it was talking about protection from 10,000 at one hand? Remember it was saying that? Okay. We come out, and the unclean spirits are already talking trash. And he's laughing and making fun and stating this bizarre story of how false accusations, okay, which I was shutting down in an appropriate way and staying on topic in the moment. And of course, I felt a little shaky. I was really excited and I was trying to have composure. And it was that one verse: "You will keep in perfect peace those whose minds are steadfast because they trust in you." And in that moment, I knew God was in the midst. I knew that Jesus was there with us. And I knew that he made this moment happen. Because in order for the next step to happen, this encounter had to happen. So, prodigal spouses or prodigal children, okay, that's what's going on in your life. He's going to create a divine appointment where they have to run into you. Let me tell you what the Lord has said. So, in that moment, we stroll through. There they are, standing there. And immediately, we say, again, for the third time, I know it's kind of like maybe overdone, but it's not. It's not overdone if their brothers couldn't be brothers. Okay, so here we are saying, go ahead and give your brother and sister a hug. So of course they already gave their older brother a hug already, but here we are. They haven't given their sister a hug. So here we are, and they go and they give my little boys give them a hug, and their older brother is embracing them. Then my daughter is smiling. She's especially smiling at her little brother that she hasn't seen grow up. The youngest one. No, the second to the youngest one. And they're hugging, okay? So meanwhile, my 6-year-old son is immediately all hands on deck, and he's helping me get the baby out of the stroller because he already knows what to do. Okay? It's like he wants to also contribute. He has been a phenomenal big brother for the time being. He had to take on that oldest brother role, and he took on that role like a champ. I'm so thankful for his life. And anyway, I did all of this without crying in front of them. I don't know why. I feel like crying right now. Anyway, we got the baby and we're both handing him to my daughter. So my daughter just embraces him. And she's just smiling at him the whole time, and her eyes are just glowing of so much joy in that moment. Like if she's been waiting to do that. To love him. And see, their father is still talking trash, and I'm still holding composure. Anyway, I asked, I kept shutting it down when he was trying to proclaim this kind of nonsense, and I saying we're not engaging in that. That is false information. We're here to just visit. Because it's just, I know we only had minutes. Anyway, I could see my daughter. She's just staring at her baby brother. And, they have the same skin tone. Very light. And my baby has curly hair like my 6-year-old. And he's very playful. Like my 3-year-old, almost 4-year-old. But he reminds me so much of my older son because they have the same giggle. They have the same very cheerful demeanor. I wish I could have told him that day. So it was actually not a depressing moment. It was actually, I was smiling the whole time and I was enjoying the moment. I wasn't like this. So they had to go already, right? So my older son reached out to hug my younger son. My 6-year-old son again. Oh, in that moment, my ex-husband was stating that he wanted to pay for something for one of my son's sports or something like that, which relates to, you know, the opposition blessing those that they don't really like, which was interesting that that matched the prophetic word, but um, it was a little bit awkward, to offer, but we didn't really say anything. Everybody stayed silent. All right, but then they had to go already. So then I gave my son and a chance to be like, can I give you a hug? Because the little bros are giving him a hug, and he said, no, thank you, not at this time. And so they start walking away. I mean, not both of them, one of them. And I said, wait a minute, can you guys wait a second? Can I take a quick picture? Because I want to show your grandma how old you guys look now, because she hasn't seen you guys in a long time. And she really misses you guys. Because he was not allowing them to see any of their grandparents or their cousins or any of my side of the family. They're like isolated over there. This is the interesting part. We don't live in the same town. They came from, it's almost like an hour and 20-minute drive into my town. And that is another essential part right there. So we also don't ever shop at that store, and it just happened to be that we just go into that store. It's like, what was that about? Anyways, let me finish what happened. So I asked my daughter, can I give you a hug? So anyways, I do take a picture really quickly. So I did get one. Of course, because I'm the mommy. I have to get my picture in. And guess what? My son was walking away, but he turned back and he allowed me to take a picture of him. And my daughter stood still and she allowed me to take a picture even though she didn't look up. And I know you think it's just a picture and it's just a moment. No. And it's just a moment that they just hugged. And it's just a moment that they hugged. But let me tell you the rest of it. I asked my daughter, can I give you a hug? Is that okay? And she said yes. So we put the baby down and she waited for me to put the baby clipped in the stroller. My son continued to do the clipping. He's all hands on deck, remember? He's very sweet boy. And because he wanted me to give my daughter a hug, his sister a hug. And so he didn't want anything to, bombard that because he already knew they were leaving. So he just did the quick 2 clips. And I hugged my daughter. And then she just stayed there for a moment. And I told her that I whispered that I loved her. And then I just kind of held her head really quick so that she's taller than me now. So anyways, I kind of like leaned forward a little bit so I can kiss her on her head right here. And then they were on their way. And that was the moment. This divine appointment that have been wanting to tell you, that the Lord, that happened on the 5th, and today is the 10th of August, that he wanted me to tell you. But there's more. Everything that happened is divine appointment. The body language of how they reacted says more, says a million words, does divine intervention in a concealed manner. Okay, maybe we didn't see a bright light, we didn't see halos, we didn't see, there wasn't the earth rattling and shaking, there wasn't a thunder voice or anything like that, but the Lord was moving. And he's going to create a divine appointment, and you're going to think you didn't hit the notes. But because you were highly anointed, you did. And not just through me, but through my voice. Okay? So, I am going to leave it here. Because the next one is part 2. So, and that one ties everything together. So you have to watch both of them. Both of these. I called it Divine Light, Divine Appointment. Prodigals. Okay? Something along the lines, I'm going to call it that. All right. See you on the next video, part 2.